DJ and welcome back to Hometown Integrated Medicine. We are going to talk about two things that pretty much 90 to 95% of everybody's dealing with nowadays, especially because of phones and texting, the forward arching of our shoulders. A lot of us have desk jobs too, where we have to prolong sit at a computer, just kind of in this posture, 8 hours a day minimally. So the two big things I'd like to talk about is what we call upper cross and lower cross syndrome. If you check out these posters, they give you kind of an idea of what's going on. When our posture and our forward head is too far forward like that, the muscles tend to act in a certain way. You'll get a tight line going on and a weak line going on. When we come over and we check out this lower cross, mostly that happens from prolonged sitting. You get the same thing going on. You get a weak line in a certain area, so our glutes and our abdominals become weak, and then our lower back muscles and our hip flexors become really tight. The common reasoning is when you're sitting down, the psoas muscles are giant, long 16-inch muscles. What we do when we sit down is we contract them, and they turn into like 14, 15-inch muscles. As we go to get back up, they don't want to really let our pelvis kind of swing through. So the key to facing lower cross is one, for me to align the spine and open up the disc spaces so the bones and nerves just feel less pressure, less reason for the postural muscles to want to be tight and overact. But the other big thing is we got to get muscle work in. So what I'm going to kind of show you is how to do a myofascial roller release for lower cross syndrome. Sometimes we hear this in the medical world as psoas syndrome. Sometimes it kind of presents as IT band syndrome. I like to think of it as an all-encompassing thing when it comes to lower cross syndrome. And you don't necessarily have to have it on both sides. It can be a unilateral thing, it can be bilateral. But the psoas, the IT band, sometimes our glutes are heavily involved. So we're going to kind of roll these guys out right now. My psoas and lower cross tends to be on my left side more than anything. So what I'm going to do is start there. The first thing I'd like us to do is come straight down into those psoas muscles, these hip flexor muscles. I want us to get our full body weight laying on them and just start rolling slightly through everything. So we're going to take the front of our hip. You can go all the way down to the front of your thigh and just start to work through all these hip flexor muscles. When you find a spot that's kind of tight and achy, I want you to just slightly hang out on it and give it slight and gentle rolls. And then as you're rolling every once in a while, you're gonna feel something kind of release. Perfect, that's exactly what we're going for. So we'll start in the fronts like this. And then what I like to call this, just in my head as I'm doing this stuff, I like to call it the rotisserie rolling. So when you go to a gas station and you see those little hot dogs rolling around, we're basically gonna hot dog roll around on my leg right now. So what I'm gonna do is come out to the side, and then we're gonna start getting into all this lateral side muscles and into our IT band a little bit. You can hyper-focus just in the hip region, or you can come all the way down towards the knee. All of it that has to do with our thigh component from the knee to the hips usually need worked out. So feel free to roll all the way down. As you can see, I started on the front, coming to the sides, getting a little bit of that in, and then just like that rotisserie, we're just gonna flip right around and go into the back of our leg. Make sure you're getting right up into that butt cheek. You can come a little bit higher, you can get into the low back a little bit. And then you can even go all the way down and start to get really down into the hamstring that's coming into that knee even more. So we did the fronts, sides, back. The last part of our rotisserie is coming into the middle here. So simple enough to just roll around, but you can also slide this roller at any angle you want to. There's really no rules when it comes to myofascial rolling. So what I'm gonna do now is get this out to the side and then get that last part of that rotisserie. So coming on in, you can start at the knee, just slightly rolling out that stuff that's inserted into our knee that's tight, or you can go all the way deep into the groin. Really get into that side stuff. You'll commonly feel that this knee point in here is really tight, all the way up into our hip that's really tight. And that muscle is called the sartorius, the only long muscle that crosses two joints in our body. Kind of sometimes acts as a hip flexor every once in a while, especially when we got lower cross going on. So getting the edge of that sartorius, coming all the way down and getting the top part of it, and basically taking your quad and hamstrings and just rolling things around on a roller. Feel free to go all the way up into your abs if you want to,
And then feel free to go down even below the knee if you want to. Just get some components of your knee. But really what you want to do is take your legs and just rotate them, rotisserie all the way around. And that's going to help a ton with lower cross syndrome.